Martha MacCallum and Larry Kudlow got together on Fox News to break down the biggest threat to America today, which is kids expecting that they'll always be able to eat food. Let's watch.
$1 trillion plus last winter we did $2 trillion plus last year we did $5 trillion. It's enough already. And the idea that free lunches can buy votes, I mean, that may have been true a long time ago. That may have been true during the worst of the pandemic. It's not true anymore. I mean, my argument is all those people you singled out making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, they don't want it. You're giving them stuff they actually don't want, and they're not going to vote for it because they understand deficits and the Federal Reserve's creating too much money.
And that their taxes are going to go up, and they'll have to pay for it somewhere else.
That's right.
Inflation or rising taxes.
That's correct.
You might get $12,000 back, but it's going to cost you more than that.
That's correct.
In the end anyway, and I think a lot of people are smart enough to figure that out.
You've become a total, I love this, a total supply sider. I love your
analysis. Well, it's a common sense argument,
yes.
and I think you're right.
Yes.
One of the things that kills me is that now that there's a free lunch program in New Jersey, and it's for everyone, even if you don't need help to send your child's lunch to school. So those kids are all going to grow up thinking, well, lunch is free, right? And then God help the person who comes along and tries to take that away, Larry. You talk about free lunch. I mean, that will never, once that happens, right? Once it's baked in there, it's never going to.
Oh God, she paints a very effective horror story, scarier even than Squid Game. Imagine a kid growing up thinking, well, I'll always be able to eat, right? If I fall in hard times, they won't let me starve, right? America's the richest country in the history of the world, right? No, you stupid hungry kid, you're gonna starve to death. That's what we need to teach them. That's how you make America strong, by starving its kids to death.
Okay, so this is actually happening in LA, and my kids are getting free lunches, so I have some personal experience with this, and I want to talk about how hilarious this clip is. So first of all, did you notice the sympathy, who Martha MacCallum had sympathy for? She said, now the poor guy who tries to take this free lunch away, man, he's gonna get hammered. Is he really a poor guy? Is that the guy who should have the sympathy for? The one taking food from babies, from kids, giving out food, right? Oh, poor guy, now the kids are complaining and everybody else is complaining. Okay, so, and then she had this thesis that if you give the kids free lunch, they're all gonna become bums, right? And that's why she's really concerned about it. Well, our kids now get free lunch because everybody used to get free lunch in public schools. I'm sorry, the people who qualified used to get free lunches at public schools in LA, which by the way was already near 80%. So that gives you a sense of how disastrous public-private schooling in LA is. And so they just, during the pandemic, they said, okay, 100%, everybody gets it, okay? Now our kids don't use it. I make their lunch for them. We try to make it healthier, etc. But I was terrified to find out that one day my 11-year-old son came home and he said, Dad, it turns out I don't have to work anymore. There's just free lunches. They hand out the free lunches. And so I've decided my new profession is going to be bum. Oh right, that didn't happen because nobody thinks like that, okay? So they didn't, my 9-year-old, my 11-year-old didn't come home and go, oh, I guess I don't have to work anymore, right? No, forget math class, I'm not doing any more reading, right? It's absurd. And by the way, the only people it could apply to are giant corporations that get billions of dollars in free handouts from the government. And then they just, instead of trying to make create a real business that could do better, they're like, well, it's free money. And then they hand it out to their executives and their shareholders. But I've never seen Martha MacCallum, that famous supply sider, or Larry Kudlow ever complain about that. It's whenever you're trying to help real Americans, that's when the right wing goes ballistic and they cannot stand the idea, Nina.
And they get these handouts and then they lay off workers. Imagine that. Those people are absolutely insane. They crazy. They are crazy, and I cannot. It is just, they're crazy. That's all I can say about that segment. Insane. Because nobody, first of all, is going to remember that they got the damn free lunch in the first place, and it's an investment. And the program is more robust when every single child is included. What is wrong with these people? They're crazy.
I get why if you were rich, if you were Martha MacCallum or Larry Kudlow or the people who look down on them as poor, why you would set up a network like Fox and Fox Business. I get why you would do that, why you'd make CNBC and you'd make all these things. And I get why you'd buy politicians and run politicians who are only gonna pursue interests that would benefit you. But it just shocks me that it actually works, that other people watch it. Like Fox is not just watched by millionaires and billionaires. Despite the fact that the hosts continually spit in their audience's face. Like how many poor conservatives have their kids on free or reduced lunch and they just, yeah, Martha MacCallum's got a good point. The kids should not expect that they'll have food. Or when they do their segments about how wages should never go up and wages are already too high and all that. Like every 6 months they use the term right-wing populism and that tides them over until the fall. And the rest of it is just talking points for billionaires and of course distracting them with critical race theory and trans athletes in high school and stuff like that. I just can't believe that it's so effective in getting all of these conservatives to support people who don't give a damn about them.
Yeah, I have one more point about that clip, which is Kudlow said they don't want it anymore, and so they're not gonna vote for it. So now that's true for some folks, and especially conservatives, because they think it's all about me, okay? Never had empathy for anyone in their lives, right? Or to be fair to conservatives, they do have empathy for their family, their church, their community to some degree, right? But you go out 1 inch outside their wagons and they're like, I got no interest in you, right? Whereas, as I just told you, and part of the reason I told you that story is that we don't use the free lunch. I make the lunch for my own kids, but we don't go around going, I can't believe other kids got free lunches. Well, that's it, I'm not voting for Democrats anymore. Because we care about those other kids. And it's just, Nina, it's just called empathy. And it appears that not only do they not have it, to the Kudlows of the world, it seems like a foreign concept. They never even heard of it.
Yeah.
It isn't, but by the grace of God, go anybody. I mean, people can fall on hard times at any moment. And wouldn't it be rewarding, refreshing to know that if you or your family member happen to fall on hard times, that at least your children could get a meal at school?
Wow.
Yeah, but for them, they're probably so rich, they think that it's near impossible for them to fall on hard times. So I wish that someone on the panel was campaign co-chair for a campaign that ran on not me, us. Oh, actually there is a panel that ran on that. See, that's why progressives are actually looking out for everyone and not just for themselves. That's the #1 difference between progressives and conservatives. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.